Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. I am Priya Venkatraman from Ponvidyashram School. Let us have a small recap of our previous session. We have discussed about the formation of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and their fractions and its uses, right? In this module, we are going to discuss about the last category of fossil fuel, that is natural gas. Natural gas is an important fossil fuel which occurs deep inside the earth between two layers of impervious rocks. What do you mean by impervious? Non-porous rocks. They are obtained either alone or above the petroleum deposits. Natural gas is a mixture of lower hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons, carbon substances which contain only carbon and hydrogen. It consists of methane, butane, and propane. These are present in butane and propane are present in small proportions. The chemical formula of methane is CH4. Okay, it acts as an ideal fuel because it burns with a blue smokeless flame without leaving any ash. This is the peculiar characteristics of natural gas. You will learn about butane and propane in your higher classes. But natural gas mainly consists methane. It acts as an ideal fuel because it burns with a blue smokeless flame without leaving any ash. Its calorific value is very high. What do you mean by calorific value? When 1 kg of fuel is burnt, the energy produced when 1 kg of fuel is burnt in the complete oxidation or complete combustion is known as calorific value. In India, natural gas has been found in Tripura, Rajasthan, and Maharashtra, and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. Uses of natural gas. Natural gas is stored under high pressure as compressed natural gas (CNG). CNG is used as a fuel in motor, cars, buses, trucks because it is less polluting. It is a clean fuel because it produces only carbon dioxide and water and no ash on burning. Second point, CNG is also used for power generation. Third point, a great advantage of CNG is that it can be supplied directly from the gas wells to the homes and factories through a network of underground pipelines to be used directly for burning. Such network of pipelines exist in Gujarat and some parts of Delhi and at few other places also. Natural gas is used as a starting material for the manufacture of a number of chemicals and fertilizers. Natural gas is used for manufacturing of carbon black, which is used in rubber industry as a strengthening agent. What is the work of carbon black here? It is used in the rubber industry as a strengthening agent. Natural gas is also used to obtain hydrogen on industrial scale, which is used in manufacturing of ammonia. Natural gas decomposes to form carbon and hydrogen on strong heating in the absence of air. What is the chemical equation for this? Methane gives carbon and hydrogen. This is the word equation and the chemical equation is as follows. CH4 gives on strong heating in the absence of air. CH4 gives C plus 2H2, carbon plus hydrogen. Okay, limitations of fossil fuels. We have studied in the beginning of this chapter that fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gas are exhaustible natural resources. The two main limitations of fossil fuels are as follows: limited availability and air pollution. Limited availability. You can write your own answers also for these type of questions. First, it took millions of years for the conversion of dead organisms into fossil fuels. Second, these resources cannot replenish themselves by quick recycling and replacement within a reasonable time. So, if these resources are used at their present rate of consumption, the known reserves of these fossil fuels will last only a few hundred years, causing energy crisis. Second point, air pollution. The burning of fossil fuels produces gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and even smoke. These gaseous particles and smoke cause air pollution. Air pollution leads to respiratory problems in human beings. It causes suffocation and may even cause death. We will study about the harmful effects of air pollution caused by burning of fossil fuels in some other lesson, that is pollution of air and water. In that lesson we will discuss everything in brief. Okay, the first one, sulfur dioxide gas will be emitted. You have already learnt in the last year, that is acid rain. Sulfur dioxide produced while burning of fossil fuel combine with rainwater to form sulfuric acid. Sulfur when reacts with oxygen to form two types of oxides, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide when reacts with water to form sulfurous acid. This we have already discussed in the lesson metals and non-metals. But sulfur trioxide, which is emitted by the automobiles, okay, sulfur dioxide reacts with rainwater to form sulfuric acid. The polluted rain containing sulfuric acid is called acid rain. When it falls on monuments it gets affected, right? Then the second one, carbon dioxide. You know very well about the greenhouse effect. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which leads to increase in average temperature of our earth. What actually happen in greenhouse effect? Listen, earth receives energy, light and heat energy from the sun, right? After striking on the earth's surface, the energy will be reflected again to the space. Okay, actually this is happening. But if there is more formation of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere, or if more carbon dioxide is present in our atmosphere, what will happen? This carbon dioxide forms a blanket-like structure which will not allow the heat energy back to the space. So what will happen? So the heat energy will remain in the atmosphere. Leads global warming. This leads global warming. Okay, carbon dioxide, if there is no blanket like structure of carbon dioxide, what will happen? After striking the earth's surface, the heat energy, some of this heat energy will be reflected back to the space. But carbon dioxide, since it is it's formed like a blanket like structure, this will not allow the heat energy escape to the space. So the heat energy will remain in our atmosphere. Okay, because of this problem, we have global warming. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas and even methane also. Okay, so carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas which leads to increase in average temperature of our earth. It leads to melting of polar ice caps. Incomplete combustion of fuels result in the formation of carbon monoxide and soot particles. Incomplete combustion, if the combustion is nothing but burning, if combustion does not occur properly, what will happen? Incomplete combustion leads to the formation of carbon monoxide, that is CO. The symbol of carbon dioxide is CO2. The symbol of carbon monoxide is CO. Mono means 1. So carbon monoxide CO. Di means 2. Tri means 3. You will learn everything. Okay, so carbon dioxide CO2. Carbon monoxide CO. So what will happen? when there is the formation of carbon monoxide. When we inhale carbon monoxide, it combines, you have already learned this also, it combines with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin. Hemoglobin, which is present in our, it is a red color pigment, okay, which is in our blood. This carbon monoxide combine with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin. As a result, hemoglobin becomes unable to carry oxygen. Hemoglobin is the oxygen carrier. This, because of the formation of carboxyhemoglobin, this oxygen will not be carried out and supplied to the whole body cells, which results in death due to suffocation. So if there is no oxygen supply to the cells, what will happen? We will suffocate and it may lead to death also. Then the next one, soot particles. Soot particles enter our body while breathing and trigger cough, sneezing, respiratory problems like asthma. So both coal and petroleum are available deep inside the earth. Mining of coal or pumping out petroleum from the earth create hollow space in the earth, which may result in collapse leading to earthquake. These petroleum is obtained from the sea, okay, not only from in Saudi Arabia, in few such countries it is obtained even from the land also, but coal is obtained from the mine. During this process mining, we have to dig the ground deep inside. This will create a hollow space, and while doing this lead to earthquake. That is also one of the disadvantage. Conservation of fossil fuels. Conservation is the wise and careful use of resources. We need to conserve the fossil fuels, keeping in mind their limited availability. First one, we should reduce the use of fossil fuels and use these fuels only when absolutely necessary. We should encourage the use of renewable resources of energy like wind energy, solar energy, hydro energy. Okay, wind energy, we can produce current from wind. Solar energy which is obtained from the sun. Hydro means water. Okay, we have hydro power stations also. Hydroelectric power station. From water we can obtain current. Okay, we have to use all the other resources to meet our energy needs. We should use more fuel efficient machines. In India, the Petroleum Conservation Research Association, PCRA, let me repeat, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, PCRA, has laid down certain rules for saving petrol or diesel or CNG. What are the rules we have to follow? Drive at a constant and moderate speed as far as possible. Switch off the engine at traffic lights or at place where you have to wait. We have to switch off the engine at traffic lights or at a place where you have to wait. Ensure regular maintenance of vehicles. These are some rules we have to follow. Technological advancement and energy crisis. What do you mean by crisis? A crucial time or a crucial situation when we are forced to take some decision is known as crisis. Okay, the demand for energy is increasing due to setting up of new industries and rapidly expanding cities. People are becoming techno-friendly. Okay, we are continuously setting up large number of industries and developing new technologies to fulfill our needs. Both the development and use of technology consume tremendous amount of energy. Various machines used in industries run on electricity. Let us see how energy is necessary in our life. Modern methods of agriculture require energy. For example, tractors, tube wells and other agricultural implements they need energy. They use energy. A large amount of energy is consumed by us at home due to a large number of electrical appliances and gadgets. For example, refrigerators, coolers, or air conditioners, washing machines, etc. Computer, laptop, electric motors consume a huge amount of energy. Various means of transportation and food processing or storage also require energy. As our energy needs are increasing at a tremendous pace and our energy resources are limited, we must judiciously use the available natural resources. The sensible and economic use of energy resources is called conservation of energy. We should take following steps to save and conserve energy. What we have to do? A few points. Let me discuss. Use fans, lights, coolers, room heaters, air conditioners, etc. only when required. Use devices like solar cooker, solar water heater, and solar water pump which use renewable resource of energy, that is solar energy. Fuel efficient vehicles must be used and their engines must be properly maintained. Regular maintenance of gas pipes, oil pipes, and water pipes is necessary to prevent loss of resources. Then, instead of electric bulb, we have to use LED. What do you mean by LED? Lights are available, you know very well. The full form of LED is light emitting diode, and CFL bulbs. Okay, CFL compact fluorescent lamp. Instead of bulb, we have to use LED and CFL, which consume less energy. Why we have to use this? Because they consume only less energy. Use public transport instead of private vehicles as far as possible. Then the next one, use pressure cooker for cooking. These are the few methods or steps which we need to follow to conserve energy. Thank you.